What is up, everybody, YouTube land, and welcome to this episode of From the Mind of an Appliance Technician. I'm your friendly neighborhood appliance technician, Chris. I just bumped my laptop table. And thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode. Got a few things to talk about right now. Don't have a lot to go over, but I figured I'd put this out there just to, let you guys in YouTube land know that I'm still here. I've just been extremely busy. There's going to be quite a huge announcement probably around the first of the year that I'm going to be doing, so just stay tuned for that. But for now, I just wanted to go over some things about like the state of the industry, upcoming videos, things like that I've got coming down the pipe that I just have to kind of get the logistics worked out on as to how I'm going to approach doing them. Okay. Number one, let's start with the state of the industry these days. Okay. We're looking at November 15th, 2020. It's about 10:30 at night. This is kind of when I can get around. It's a Sunday night. It's kind of when I can get around to doing most of this stuff. So here we are. Guys, the state of the appliance industry, if you're selling appliances right now, it's not really that great. A couple of months back, GE had frozen our ordering. Now, if you're not familiar with me, I've got a lot of new subscribers to this channel. If you guys are watching any of this stuff, I work for a company that sells Whirlpool, GE, and like Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Speed Queen. Okay, we are having a lot of trouble ordering everything. Okay, that's been pretty much the standard throughout the spring and summer months that we've had going on, but we're starting to see things get a little bit more drastic now. Now that everybody's trying to open up and they're not really taking their precautions with COVID, and they're just kind of throwing caution to the wind a lot of times in certain places in this country. I know Speed Queen, their factory, 2 weeks ago, they should be coming off quarantine this week sometime, but a couple of weeks ago they found COVID in the factory in Speed Queen in Ripon, Wisconsin, and they had to shut their doors, and everybody in the factory had to quarantine for 2 weeks. So not sure how that worked out. I'm not sure if they're coming off quarantine this week or next week. Either way, it sucks for anybody trying to order Speed Queen right now. A couple of months ago, and I think I mentioned this in one of my other Mind of the Appliance Tech videos that I did, GE had frozen ordering, and we're just kind of like on drip feeds right now from Whirlpool and GE. If we've already ordered it previous, we're getting things in, just kind of trickling in. And Sub-Zero and Wolf are kind of the same way. Everything is just really topsy-turvy right now. On the service end of things, I'm noticing a lot of parts that should be pretty common that are taking a little while to get here. Now, the guy that handles the parts ordering in our shop does a really great job, and he makes sure that things get here relatively quickly. So we haven't had too many supply problems in that aspect of things. There've just been a couple of things, and I think I've also touched on those in previous videos too. Other than that, we deal with a company called Sunberg. We deal with another distributor called Reliable Parts. We deal with a place called Washer Specialties out of Wichita, Kansas. And if you are in the Midwest anywhere, definitely check them out. Don't sleep on Washer Specialties, guys. And I'm not plugging them because we deal with them, or my boss used to work for them. I'm not plugging them because of that. They're pretty good. Staff is all pretty knowledgeable. They're a smaller outfit, but if you are anywhere close, definitely give those guys a look for as far as a supply house goes. But they are in the Wichita area. At least that's the only place that I know of that they have. but you know, check them out. We're in Oklahoma, which is probably about an hour south of, well, no, 2 hours south of Wichita. So it's a little ways, but you know, the stuff can still come next day from them. So a lot of GE parts and things like that. Usually I order that through Washer Specialties. You know, they've got tools and everything else as well. So you know, I'm gonna put a plug in for them. Anyway, that's pretty much the state of the industry. Just ordering stuff is really hard. We've got like a handful of things on our floor, and if you ask me, I think that the appliance companies are feeding the big box stores first. Think Lowe's, Home Depot, things like that. The places that are most likely going to sell appliances, and little guys like us are kind of getting screwed. So that's just how it is right now. Like I said, I haven't noticed too many hiccups on my, you know, the service end of my thing, just because, you know, we search around and we try to find all kinds of different places that have parts in stock or whatever. So, and guys, when you're looking at supply, as far as parts go, you want to choose somebody like Marcone, like First Source Serval, which is another one we use that I didn't mention before, Reliable, any of the bigger parts houses, guys, because they're going to have the most locations to pick from. You know, if you don't have, like, if you have to order something, you want a place to, number one, have most things in stock. Number two, you want them to have a lot of locations where they can order from. So it's kind of like a Napa or something like that. You know, when you walk into a Napa auto parts store and you say, yeah, I need a belt for a Chevy pickup or whatever. They say, well, we don't have it here. We can, you know, have one here tomorrow from, you know, next town over or whatever. It's the same kind of way with our business. So you guys just want to keep that in mind when you do deal with supply houses. Deal with the ones that have the most locations, okay? Appliance Parts Pros, you'll see them online, Repair Clinic, things like that. Appliance Parts Pros is just Marcone's customer front. So if you already have an account with Marcone, you will be able to, I mean, you'll already get the discounts on everything, so you don't need to go through Appliance Parts Pros or anything like that. I don't know if, you know, the majority of you guys probably knew that, but that's just something I wanted to throw out there as well. Now, I think that's pretty much all that I wanted to touch on in the state of the industry. It's pretty much status quo, guys. You know, I'm busy. I'm going crazy. I'm working late nights most of the time, trying to, you know, keep up with demand. And I've had a lot of out-of-town stuff lately. So, and that's the other thing. It's just everything has been like an hour drive to get to here lately. So, you know, I've been getting home late. Haven't had a lot of time to do the videos that I want to do. That said, I think after a while here, I'm going to introduce a new segment to this channel. It's going to be something like tutorials, basically, for new technicians. Because I've been getting a lot of, you know, I've been asking around, asking for suggestions, and, you know, some of you guys may, you know, see me on the Facebook, Appliance Apprentice Facebook group, and be in the TMM Boxer chat, and I've kind of been looking for suggestions on, you know, new videos. So I want to start with, you know, skills that are very basic, skills that you should have as an appliance technician, and all those are going to be called 101. Okay, I'm going to structure it kind of like college. You're going to have 101 classes, and then you're going to have 201 classes. Okay, the 101 stuff is your basic sort of general education that I think everybody should have as an appliance technician. And I think the first installment of that is going to be wiring diagrams. Okay, I'm going to show you guys the basic way to read a wire diagram. Okay, because I think it is so vitally important that I really think it's the #1 skill, guys. I really think wire diagrams and fundamentals and knowing how electricity works in the appliances that we service is probably the biggest fundamental thing. And then next I'll touch on like general, maybe we'll have a module on general refrigerators, we'll have a module on cooking products. You know, I might split it into gas and electric, and we might go into like washers, dryers, things like that, and just kind of touch on the basics of each unit. And I don't really know how I want to structure the 201 end of it yet, but I definitely do want to touch on the theory of sealed system, and I want to go into, you know, a little bit more advanced things with a sealed system, like how to find restrictions, stuff on the cutting edge of things, like things coming down the pipe. 600A, guys, we're gonna have to be prepared for 600A. Okay, probably in the next 5-10 years, you'll see that stuff very, very mainstream. It is cruising to be in just about everything. I really think 600A is the wave of the future. It is definitely an interesting refrigerant, you know, and if we can get used to handling that, then, you know, we might get a little bit, you know, I've touched on in my previous videos, R12A, you know, we might get accustomed to bringing the older stuff around because we already know how to handle 600A, although if you were to pull down a system with alternative in it, you probably would still have to use a recovery machine, just because it's a blend. You don't, number one, the refrigerants are a blend. Number two, they it may have gone into a system with R12 already in there, so I wouldn't treat that 100% like 600A. There are some aspects that, and maybe that's actually what I will structure the 201 stuff on, is like alternatives, like R12 alternatives and things like that, because I really do think that there is some benefit to learning those kind of funky alternative refrigerants that some people may not know. I had to pick that up while I was doing those Frigidaire videos for you guys. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. That vintage Frigidaire that I've got a part 1 and 2 on so far. I may also go into like the cleaning and restoration of it, but you know, a lot of that's just kind of boring television, you know. I don't know. We'll see. If you guys want to see that kind of stuff, if you just want to watch me clean a refrigerator, then comment it down below. I'll set something up to where I can do that, and I'll kind of show you how I go about the restoration end of something like that. You guys kind of saw the rough refurbish of that first Maytag that I did. I think that was back when I was still going as James too, or going by James too. And if you don't know the story of that, check out my first Appliance Tech, or Mind of an Appliance Tech video that I ever did. It's number 001. Check that out. That's definitely something where I explain, you know, how I became, or why I was James, and you know, why I decided to kind of change and rebrand this channel to what it is today. So that's pretty much what's rolling around in my noggin. Guys, I'm trying to keep this as short and as sweet, and trying not to ramble for you guys as much as I can. But if there's anything that you think I should do, suggestions for classes that you guys want to see, pop them down in the comments down below. I really would appreciate some suggestions from the community. I mean, you guys are who I'm doing this for. I'm probably never going to get any money for any of this stuff, and I don't care. It's really not, that's not why I do this, okay? And like I said, they're around the first of the year, this 2021, it's coming down the pipe. I will have quite a huge announcement for this channel and everybody watching this channel. If you guys are on the Voxer, or you guys are on, I don't know if I've mentioned it on the Appliance Apprentice group, but if you're on there, you know, if you're on TMM's Voxer, you already know about it. and maybe not in the Appliance Apprentice group, because that one's a little bit more crowded at TK. And by the way, I wanted to throw in at the end of this a huge thank you to everybody who has come over from the Appliance Apprentice group and TMM's Voxer. Guys, I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you guys watching. You are why I do this. And thank you, TK Cousins. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you, Brandon at TNM, and everybody in the Voxer. I mean, and don't think I've forgotten Ty, because I'm not gonna let Ty. I'm not gonna let Ty go without some recognition here. At Durham Appliance, he deserves all the recognition in the world, and he just kind of prefers to, stay in the background and just kind of do his thing, which, hey, that's all right. But Ty, I really appreciate all the advice, the tools, the tools you have emptied my wallet over. I'm still looking for an ESR meter, and it has to be the one that you've got. With the little tweezers on it. I've found some of the Chinese copy ESR meters, but only I'm pretty sure only the $100 ones will do, or the more expensive ones will do with the tweezers. I like them. That's gonna have to be it. And for those of you who don't know, I am also kind of going into electronics a little bit. I would like to start repairing boards. That's kind of been another pursuit of mine. So if you guys want to see, I'm also going to be building a power supply. So if you guys would like to see that, also comment down below, because I can kind of do an expose on how I have put that power supply together, with parts and everything like that. Basically what it's going to be is a benchtop DC power supply, a variable DC power supply, because when I get into testing different parts of different circuit boards, I am going to have to have a variable lab bench power supply with DC voltage, and that's kind of, and again, I cannot stress how important knowing electricity is, guys. Okay, that's going to be probably #1 focus of this thing. But I'm going to end it there. I'm not going to ramble anymore. Thank you everybody for supporting this channel. Thank you to all of my mentors, my influences. TK, I consider you a mentor. Brandon, I consider you a mentor. Ty, I consider you a mentor. Everybody else I've probably forgotten. Kelly, over there in TMM's Voxer, at Chris Kelly's Appliance Repair. I mean, you guys have all helped me to become a better technician, and I really wholeheartedly appreciate it. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Words fail me when I try to describe how much I appreciate all the influence and things like that. And without this channel, none of that ever would have been possible. So, going into this and doing this YouTube thing has been one of the best decisions of my life. And I get to pass that on to other people, and I can only hope that through this medium, I'm passing it on to somebody, you guys out there, who are watching this. So, I really just hope I'm reaching somebody. So thank you guys so much for watching. I keep saying I'm going to end it, but here's where I end it. Thank you guys for watching so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching. So I will catch you guys on the next episode. Y'all take care, and I will have more stuff coming down the pipe as soon as I can. Thank you guys.